Nightclub, Club Marcella, shut down tonight after a person was shot there over the weekend. 2 people are in custody. This makes it the 4th shooting this year at the club or around it. Now neighbors and city leaders, they're calling for change. And joining me live in studio right now is Buffalo Police Commissioner Joseph GRAMAGLIA. Commissioner, unfortunately, we have seen too many of these shootings. Some have been inside, some have been outside. What determines if the city and you will close it down?
So by the charter, we have what's called a peace and good order closure when you have a series, and it has to be a series of violent incidents that occur in a liquor establishment. So they're really designated towards bars, nightclubs where violence can occur. It gives the authority to the police commissioner or the mayor to do a peace and good order closure. So when we do this, we'll have to document numerous incidents on the letter, as has been widely seen by the media and posted on the door. We will shut that business down, and then they will have an opportunity to go before the Department of Permits and Inspections. And at that point, we want to see businesses open. We want to see businesses thrive, but we will get with them and then try to work out more enhanced security measures.
I'm sure you probably know, and you're probably hearing other people say, a security guard shot back in January, and then there was that triple shooting in February where one person actually died. So then that question does become, even though we heard what you just said, why wasn't this done then?
So if we look back, there was a shooting in January and then followed up in February with a triple shooting that occurred inside the club. The shooting in January occurred outside in the parking lot. We engaged in a lot of conversations with the ownership of Club Marcella after that triple shooting in February. They are very proactive. They have always been involved in their security planning. They are very involved with the district chief and the chief's meetings. We had suggested that they close early because we did not do the order closure at the time. They backed up their hours to closing at 2 o'clock in the morning, but they have a very extensive security camera system. They have a lot of things that we would normally want someone to reopen to put in. They already had those in place. So we worked a lot with them, but clearly there has been a failure. There was another shooting in October that occurred across the street, but we have very good information that it was patrons of that club. Had that club not been open, that shooting would not occurred across the street, and now another one inside the club. So enough was enough, and it was time to close them, and then we'll see where it goes from here.
And this is the time of year where people are going out, they're clubbing, they're doing that, they're shopping, they're going on some of the major strips. So do you have any advice for owners? Because if a person owns a club and something happens, you can imagine they're probably on pins and needles.
You're going to have incidents that occur in a nightclub, in a bar. It's going to happen. It's the nature of the business. We're not looking at places that might have 1 or 2 incidents, especially if they're spread further apart. We're talking violent events. We've done this before. We've closed other nightclubs down. We've closed a bowling alley down that was very popular to promoter parties. But these are things where you have repetitive shootings, repetitive violent crimes. You know, the one-off here and there. We are still going to come in. We're going to work with you. We're going to work with the ownership management to increase your security and also help work through the crowds that are coming in. This is something we're going to have to do with them. So we've also had a significant increase in manpower, resources, doing directed patrols. That club is on the border of A and B district. A district has had dozens and dozens of directed patrols parking right out across the street from the club, and B district has also had similarly dozens of directed patrols right there as well. We can't be inside the club though.
Correct. It makes me wonder too, when they were right next to the trough on Main Street, Pearl, did you see as many incidents like this? So
there were a couple of clubs. There was Club Marcella and one across the street that we ultimately closed as well. There were a lot of problems between the 2 clubs and in the parking lots. We did not see the incidents that were occurring inside of Club Marcella. We did at the club across the street. We were hoping that when they moved that it would kind of reset, and they invested a lot of money into the place. But unfortunately, an unruly crowd followed down there, and we're seeing the unfortunate result of this. So, my final question: there are other shootings that have been happening outside of nightclubs. It's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. Are there any other places on your radar, and is your security or city cameras able to help you determine and see if it's happening from people spilling out or going in? So that is a challenge. Some of the places that we have seen those shootings that we can affirmatively pin on a particular establishment, we will take action. If you have a larger area where there are multiple places, we are going to have to, just like any evidence in court, we are going to have to attribute that violence to that particular place. So like I said, we're not looking at places that might have a one-off problem in a shooting. I hate to phrase it as a one-off problem, but if something does happen in a place, we're going to work with you. We have a proven track record of working with establishments, but when all of those efforts just are not getting where we need them to be, we have to take pretty strict action.
And that's what we saw with Club Marcella.
We did, and we hope to work with them.
All right. Buffalo Police Commissioner Joseph GRAMAGLIA joining us here on the 530. Thank you so much for that insight and that information. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now for a